Good morning. Today I've got an external mic, so I'm getting very, very professional here. Anyway, today I'm in the garden. We bought the house about 6 years ago during the coronavirus, and we couldn't do anything. There was no builders around. There was no DIY shops open. You weren't allowed out in public. But we had nothing to do, and it was spring. So we thought, well, let's start the garden. So today I'm going to give you a little tour. Here we go. This is the entrance to the garden coming in from the house. An interesting thing here is the whole village was destroyed in an earthquake in 1856, I think it was. And there's bits and pieces of a house that was built here before us. Here you can see a pillar from the previous house. That was a door. Also in the garden there's stones from a previous house. Interesting stuff. Now I will do a video on the actual house soon. It's a bit of a horrible story involving an earthquake. But anyway, we've been waiting 6 years for funding, so we haven't been able to touch the house. But the garden, yes. This was the pig house. Hopefully it's going to become a studio, but I don't know if we've got the money to renovate the house and do the studio at the same time. We might just start small. Here's a little sitting area that is behind the studio. There's a plan to have big glass doors, full floor-to-ceiling doors here overlooking this little studio. It'll have a mezzanine bed and an area for painting, a little kitchen and bathroom. Yeah. I found this huge terracotta pot up near where Zeus was born in the Lethe Plateau. It had a bit of a crack in it, so I got it for €25. But then I haven't. I'm too scared to actually plant anything in it right now because it's full of soil. It's going to be very heavy. So I'm waiting for the house to be done and for it to go on a terrace there. Excuse the mess. We had a new roof put on before the earthquake, and they're the old roof tiles and various bits of rubbish. Anyway, my canna lilies are doing very well. I don't even really fertilize here. I do chop and drop, and they just come back every year. And there's a wonderful wisteria here that I need to stop saying that flowers amazingly in spring and then has the occasional flower all year round. You can see some there. There. It's a beautiful thing. It grows a mile a minute. Then I've got a pear tree here, which just seems to struggle. It makes fruit and then the fruit comes out yucky. There's a couple there. There's two paths to enter the garden. This one is the one I prefer. It's just gravel with a bit of membrane underneath and stones, and it takes you to the sitting area, which hasn't been paved or anything yet because of just lack of money and saving money for the actual house. I've got a heavenly bamboo here, which is great, but I worry the seeds are toxic to birds. So I do actually chop all the seeds off when they grow, which is a shame because they're pretty. But anyway, need to protect the birds. Here is a new one. I don't know if you can see it next to the heavenly bamboo. It's a Judas tree. I think in America you call them red buds. I thought it was a normal tree when I bought it. Often here when you buy something, there's no instructions or there's no specific names. So I thought I was buying a normal Judas tree, but actually it turned out to be a weeping one, which I should be excited about because it's going to be really beautiful. And it is the main thing you see when you enter the garden. So it should be stunning. I'm trying to film now in the morning because apparently that's when the light is softest and best. There's chives. The chives are such good value. They flower all year. Then I've got a cherry tree, which oops, tripping over myself here. Cherry tree, which is, it does so well, it's so pretty, and each year I trim it into a nice shape. But unfortunately, we don't have another one, so it actually never gives any fruit. Dum-dums, we need to plant another one. Actually, the neighbour used to have one, and then they chopped it down. So our little cherry tree has no exciting erotic encounters with other trees. I've got some ferns growing in here. When we first got the garden, it was just so hot. You could only be out here after 6 in the afternoon in summer. So I've decided that I'd really quite like a shade garden, which is a bit of a problem with the mosquitoes. So I need to kind of have a balance of shade and light. Here is a, oh my God, what's it called? It's a salvia hot lips. Great value, no problems at all. Flowers all year. I chop the flowers off regularly to encourage it to go. And there's a Photinia. I planted 4. And oddly, one in each location, one does really well and the other one struggles. I'm just going to zoom in on the other one, if I can work out this zoom, which I can't. Anyway, just down there is its friend, who is very shy to come out. One of the things in Crete that you find often are beautiful urns. This one, I don't know how old it is. They can be hundreds of years old. Recently it fell over in the wind. It got a bit of a crack. I need to glue it back together again. Here's the other, oh my God, I'm terrible with names. The other plant I was just talking about, there's a little tiny one that's just so slow. And then its neighbour is Boom. Behind that is a fuchsia, which I got from a market here, hoping that it would survive the climate. We're in a weird climate up here where it actually gets frost and snow. So most fuchsias wouldn't survive in the mountains because we're 500 meters off from sea level. But this one actually is cold hardy, so it's great. There's Freddie. Freddie is my best friend. He's 15 years old. At the beginning of the year, we had 3 dogs. One 18-year-old dog, Betty, and another young dog, Maria, who was 7 months old. And both of them got hit by cars and killed in a village where there's almost no cars. So it was just really bad luck and just too sad. It destroyed my Christmas when Betty died. I had to cook lunch for 10 people. And she died 2 days before lunch, before Christmas. And every time I was left alone, I couldn't help crying. Yeah, it was not easy to read recipes. This is a lantana. I've got another lantana, which is here. I know that lantanas are quite invasive, but in Crete we don't really have enough rain for that to be a problem. So I've never heard, people plant them here. I've got a fan palm happening here in the middle. There's so many plants in this garden, it's quite hard to see them. I don't know if it's coming across well on film. I think because I'm from Sydney, I adore palms. It takes me home. It gives a bit of a lush tropical look, which I love. A lot of the Greeks just say, oh, they're awful, pull them out. But then they say that about all ornamental plants because the Greeks aren't really into ornamental planting. It's more practical stuff. Now here is a, oh my God, red Robin Hood. I'm forgetting my names. Problem with getting old is you become all weird and funny and things. I think sometimes you actually are smarter, but your memory's gone. That is an apple tree. The apples are nice, but they tend to go bad as well. Also, I just discovered that you need to, if you've got more than 2 on a branch, pull the rest off and let the 2 left there do well. So yeah, and some English box. And the philodendron, I've got 2 philodendrons. This one is doing quite well. The other one, I think it's got too much competition from the English ivy. I know English ivy a lot of people hate, but I actually quite love it. So I'm not going to get rid of it. I just need to trim it. There's another one of those ones that I can't remember the name. Sword fern. I'm planting lots of sword ferns in here because as the garden becomes more shady, it's going to give it a tropical look, foresty look. This is my pride and glory. It is a mulberry tree. It has red mulberries. Every spring it drops 1 billion. And yeah, they're delicious. I'm actually doing the keto diet, well, a loose keto diet. So I don't eat much fruit, but I do definitely eat berries, and the mulberries on my list. Here's another palm. I think they're all different varieties. That one's quite slow growing. It's the oldest one in here. Freddie's trying to hog the camera. Hello, Mr. Freddie. There was something getting into the garden last week. I planted a whole bunch of alyssum and just random other things, geraniums, and something comes in at night time and digs out new plants. I'm not very happy about that. And it's just the middle of summer right now, so I'm not replanting. That can wait. There's many treasures in this garden. This is something that I'm really, maybe my most excited plant. It's a crepe myrtle. And again, when you buy these things, they don't tell you what variety they are when you buy them from the shops. I wanted a crepe myrtle tree, but actually I think it's a crepe myrtle bush because it's very slow and it doesn't really want to shoot for the sky very quickly. But anyway, I'm trying to prune it to shoot for the sky. It's flowering now, so it'll probably stop shooting over the years. Let's see how it goes. I've got some creeping rosemary, some irises. Back here is, honeysuckle. Honeysuckle does really well. And you can see through the fence, the neighbour's garden. The neighbour's garden's a bit of a disaster. There's no one lives there. It just dies and looks horrible every year. So I'm trying to hide it behind this chicken wire fence. I've got the wisteria covering the fence. It's taking a long time to hide their garden. It's another canna lily. And here is an English box. We're lucky we haven't had box blight come to Crete yet, as far as I know. It'll be devastating when it does come. There's another urn that I found. I often find these things. Or in second-hand shops, you get them for next to nothing because they aren't everywhere. So people don't treasure them. There is a pomegranate tree. Excuse the sun. The pomegranate is amazing. This is exactly the right climate for them. Dry and hot. Pomegranates are on my diet. There's another fan palm. I think they're all different varieties, but I really can't tell the difference. Here's a peach tree. Peach tree does very well. We don't have any issues with that. This is my partner's garden. My partner doesn't want to be on camera, so you just have to put up with me. There's the pomegranate tree, which is shot better with the light on it. We also have 2 orange trees, which go really, really well. I don't eat oranges. I know people think I'm totally mad because they're very, very healthy, but they're actually really full of sugar. And I'm trying to not trigger insulin, so I stay in a state of ketosis, which sounds a bit, sounds a bit odd, but it actually works. I've lost 10 kilos during this diet. There's a lemoni, vital for Greek cooking. That's only about 3 years old. It's doing well. This is a walk down into the vegetable garden. Tomata, peperi, apple tree, which I'm trying to espaliate. It's looking beautiful. It's not that old either. Things grow really well in this garden because we're in a valley. And there's actually a creek just down the bottom of here. Cherry tomatoes, zucchini, avocado trees like it here because we're just high up the mountains enough to have the right climate for them as well. Some things you can't grow here, like bananas, they would die in the winter. I am actually after some non-fruiting bananas that they grow in the UK, just because I love the leaves. We're about to have 1 million berries. They are doing super well. I think in most of Europe they turn into brambles, but here again we don't have enough water. It doesn't rain enough all summer, so they're not going to survive. I think that's a codgy berry down there. More zucchinis, aubergines. In Greece they call aubergines melanzana. I like that one better, it sounds more exotic. I can't remember what this tree is called. There's an arch with grapevine over the top. The grapes are fantastic here too. We are in a really good position. You wouldn't think of Crete as having a cooler climate because it fries down at the coast. But because we're 500 meters up in the sky, it's a bit more like the English landscape, English climate. Obviously we get hotter for longer, but we have frosts and we have more rain, and the soil quality is great. Here's a rose that does really well. It's actually just past rose season, so it's looking a bit shaggy. And then there's a creeping rose that only flowers once a year, but when it does, it just goes bananas. And this is Betty down here, my little baby, who was killed by a car. She'd actually lost the plot. She couldn't hear, she could barely see. She was 18. It was actually not a bad thing that the little girl went before the suffering became worse with just old age. Here's a zucchini flower, which I must attempt to cook one day, stuff them with rice and cook them with egg lemon sauce. Another fruit tree, I have no idea what it is. This is my partner's garden. This one is a plum tree. They're quite small plums. They're actually about ready now, but they're delicious. Hey, Mr. Freddy. Down here is Maria, our other dog. She was 7 months old. We couldn't keep her in the house. We found her next to a bin, and she was the cutest thing, tiny little thing. So we rescued her, and no one would take her. And I think that's because actually she was a hunting dog, and the locals knew we had a hunting dog, but we didn't really understand that. Anyway, she grew up to be the most cute, loving thing. Everyone in the village loved her, but she was nuts. We couldn't keep her in the garden because she would jump over the fence, which is not an easy feat. And she would run in front of cars, and one night she didn't come back. It's just heartbreaking when they go. I felt so sorry for her. She loved life, and she didn't even see one summer. We do have a hideous fence back here at the back of the garden to keep Freddie from running into the river, although it doesn't look very effective right now. We must fix that. We had a lot of rain in winter, so looks like we've lost a bit of land. Anyway, that's the creek, which is only just running now. It should be drying out. We actually get quite a bit of mosquito action here at the moment. I love this view. Past our neighbour's garden along the river. There's a lot of wild irises in there. I must upload some videos I've got some photos of how the garden looked 6 years ago when we first got it. There was nothing here apart from 2 orange trees and 2 mandarin trees and a pomegranate tree. So it's been quite an amazing journey. Behind us is Basilaritas Mountain. That's where Zeus went to school. It's at the bottom of the mountain. Gives us some beautiful storms. I'm not a summer person. I love the storms and the cooler weather. This was a chicken house. The other path is interesting. When we first got the garden, it was covered in soil, so I didn't know it was here. I don't know how old it is. It seems to be very old. It's a bit of a nightmare because the weeds grow through it, and I'm a bit anally retentive to weeds when I've got the time. It actually takes a lot of time to look after this garden. It's not high maintenance. It is high maintenance completely, but I love the crazy paving, I think you would call it, in some countries. Mr. Freddy likes to get onto the path and in my way. He's a boss. I would like to continue the paving, this type of paving, into the sitting area. the sitting area is here. And my thoughts behind it were to be just totally surrounded by nature. I'm going to show you now what it's like to sit at the garden table and be surrounded by nature. It's a wonderful place. Sorry about the old man noises. To sit and have meze, definitely drinks in the afternoon, and enjoy the nature. Okay, so that's the tour of the garden for today. I've got to run off and meet somebody now. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I think I'll probably do a few of these because the garden's always ever evolving. In winter it's completely different. Obviously the trees lose their leaves and sometimes we get snow. So it's a joy for myself and my partner. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.